Okay, this is a fun topic. How did I use color in my comic? The first thing I did, which I mentioned in the last video, is give each character roughly one thematic color. That makes it easier for you to color and easier for the audience to remember the cast. How to incorporate the characters in the environment. I tried to keep the colors of the background always a bit more dull and faded, so it doesn't distract from the characters themselves. That means I made the colors either more gray or lighter. Consider if the hues of the background are harmonizing with the character or not. You can use that to make the character feel like they belong into that space or not. To pick the colors of the environment, I always choose one main color first, like green for the garden or beige for the castle, and expand the color palette for the details from there, changing the hue a little bit, the lightness, the saturation, all from this one main color. I reuse a lot of the colors I choose in multiple elements in the scene, so it stays cohesive and doesn't have 50 different shades. In general, when you want to make two colors match that don't usually mix well, making one of them or both more gray helps them look more harmonious. I recommend Marco Bucci's video on color to see more on that. I'm going to link it in the description. If you're overwhelmed with which colors to pick, I recommend first sticking to an analogous or complementary color scheme and expand your knowledge from there afterwards. Analogous palettes are basically the same color but slightly different, which would be the colors next to each other on the color wheel. And complementary color palettes are opposing colors, which means literally one opposing the other on the color wheel. In that scheme, you usually pick one dominant color and use the other one as a highlight. In my story, for example, the princess's theme is mainly blue, but with gold sprinkled here and there, which is why this castle interior scene is blue and gold mostly. Saturation is a great way to make things pop and contrast, so you can use that to guide the viewer's eye to what's important in the scene. Same thing with lights and darks. In general, contrast is the way to catch someone's attention. I recommend you look up a video about values to understand how different colors have different levels of lightness naturally. It's a very broad topic, but also super useful to understand how to make things pop. So I'm going to link 1 or 2 videos about that in the description as well. Here's a little extra tip if you want to make something appear glowy. Something appears lighter, the darker the surrounding colors are. So you don't always need to use those digital art tools like luminosity layers to make this work. You can technically do it just with the natural colors themselves. Okay, here's a concept I love. Things don't have to be the color we think they are. The road can be orange, trees can be blue, furniture pink, rocks can be purple, clouds can be red. Play around, be free, art has no rules. Make what you think is pretty. If you're making a webtoon with panels that don't fill the entire background, it's common for this background to be either white or black depending on the mood of the scene. But that's only what's common. You can play around with that as well. And that's what I want you to take away from this video in general. I love color because I feel it's where I get to play around the most. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.